Alright, so I should be on now. Today is the time where we do our first open mic session. Yay! What does that mean? Um, I don't know. I didn't really have anything necessarily planned out for it. It's kind of like maybe like more of an in-depth look as to like what exactly I do during pre-streams, like before I get things started, just like my process is like how I set things up and everything. So that could be a nice reference point to start off. Of course, I could go into a little more detail as to the PlayStation event that just happened, and a lot of bunch of other stuff. But at least for now, that's a thought process. Kind of just make sure that everything is good to go on my end. Right now, I can't exactly show you everything here, but right now, when I usually start up my OBS, you can see here that I have all my settings up and ready to go. Usually, I start off on this screen, and then I kind of go back into this when I start like my sessions, and then I have my stream starting soon title here, but I don't actually have to do anything with my mouse. The camera here would show you that I have a stream deck, and I also don't want to move it. Um, so usually I would just hit the button for the stream starting soon, and when I'm ready, I pull up my YouTube clips. Well, not clips, but my playlist. Mainly because I want to listen to a variety of tracks while I'm getting set up. So as the stream starting soon is happening, I go to my channel, I go to my playlist, and I go right here into my stream starting soon. So that gives me the notification to like, these are all the tracks that I have saved into my playlist, and I can kind of start from there. I'm not going to actually play music while I'm doing this because I'm going to watch some videos or whatever for this demonstration or whatever. So usually I'll play it from there and then just do randomized starting from the beginning. I always have the first song being the intro to Persona 4 because that is just amazing, in my opinion. I would try and have a little bit more variety in here, but I only have like 400 tracks. I'm trying to add some more stuff. I know exactly what I could be adding into it, so every day is a new day for new songs for sure. Um, but that's at least how I start the streams, and then when I'm ready, I basically lower that music. Like I use that with my mouse, and then I drag it down to like basically zero. And then once I'm ready, there's another button that goes from this to this on the stream deck. So that's how I have it. Yeah, that's basically how it kind of works, at least for me to start off. Then, of course, you can see here that I have my multiple scenes. I have my Be Right Backs. I have different ones. Obviously, there's like the Kingdom Hearts one. I believe that's this one. The Be Right Back, again, I believe is the new Be Right Back screen that I have. Then the BRB for real is the one with Persona 5, which that one has its own set music, obviously, and it repeats. Then I have my See You Next Time screen that, whenever I'm done with that. And I always have my Be Right, or not Be Right Back, but my ending stream song being the Phoenix Wright Sisters Ballad. That's honestly one of my favorite tracks that comes from like a resolution from Phoenix Wright games. It's just, I pick like the version that comes from, I believe it's Justice for All. I'm not sure exactly the main differences between each version, but I feel like that's the version it comes from. And then I pick whatever it is from the YouTube clip, and I just kind of go from there. But yeah, that's kind of like the new setup, at least with the new layouts and all that. Not really much has changed since I got the new layout. So it's the only thing that really changed was since the old Be Right Back screens and everything had music and all that stuff into the screen, so I didn't have to like go to the music that I wanted to pick. I don't have to go through all that extra setup. So technically my stream startup times and in between sessions are a little slower with these sessions, but I prefer to have the variety with the music for whenever I have this stuff done. So yeah, that's the method to my madness, at least for the stream perspective. Then usually I'll have the chat up with when you go live on stream for Streamlabs. It actually has like a little section here that opens up when you go click live. Then it has like your view count, it has the time elapse, and it has like the chat here. I do see that I have the chat here, but unfortunately this screen is so small that's why it's sometimes hard to see the chat, because this is so small and that's the only thing that's available to me for me to see. Then I have to kind of like peek over to see like what the chat is saying over here, and that's the biggest one. If I had another screen, I would have that set up as just the chat, but that's a big setup, and I don't really have a huge setup for that. So that's not really the most viable option, at least for me. But if I had something like mounted, that was the chat, I could just look up and read it or something. But that's future Brandon's problem. That's not me today. And yeah, I don't think that there's anything else aside from this. This kind of helps like just because this mini feed shows me like what the recent stuff is, but in order for me to see everything else, you kind of have to like small this and then pull this up. So that's not really viable for me. I could just try and turn this off. I actually would if I could. Pop out event filtering options. Yeah, I think that just shows up everything. Skip pause alert. Yeah, if I could mute like turn this off the mini feed, then I would, because I don't necessarily need that since I have this Streamlabs labels everything that comes up anyway. So just in case I miss something, there's the backup, and that's how I like do my shoutouts at the end. Because if it's shown up here, and sometimes it doesn't actually show up during the stream, this helps out a lot for sure. I actually don't know what these are. Oh, it's a little giveaway tab. Cool. And oh, it actually has. Oh, see, this is what happens when you actually have time to look at shit. Okay, and those are all the settings. Okay, that's neat. I'm actually gonna keep this up because I'm gonna be streaming soon. So at least for next, let me just show you the setup as to how I get the game turning on. So depending on what I'm playing, if it's PC, it's the easiest thing. I really don't have to do much of anything. I just go to my desktop, check out what I have, go right to the Steam page, download the game. I would usually have the game already pre-downloaded and then, boot it up once. But during the time where I'm like stream starting soon, that's just for me to like boot it up, mute that audio just to make sure it doesn't come and bleed through like when it's the stream starting soon screen. And then just to make sure that it actually boots up and I can just hit a button or two like on the options, and then usually I'm good to go. For everything else though, it's kind of a little bit of a more hassle. Right down here I have my I will change the camera so you can see it. I do have my Elgato right here. And the reason why it's right here is because, number one, it's a little bit more convenient for me to actually see the Elgato to make sure it's on. Though there's a little bar that has a light. And if it's on, then it will flash white. But if it's off, it'll flash red and it'll go dim. So for some reason, when I try and start games up, I'm going to switch my computer screen over to the Elgato screen. You can see that when I switch it like that, nothing happens to the actual screen. So that tells me that the Elgato is off. Every single time I turn my computer off and I turn it back on, it hasn't done it since I first got it. Like when it first came out the box, I didn't have this issue. But for some reason now it just decides that it wants to do it. So I have to do a certain method, which being I have to physically unplug everything. You can hear that. That was the actual connection from the Elgato to the computer because it's just a USB port. It has two HDMIs, one that comes from a splitter that has all of my HDMIs basically connected to one input, and then there's an output. So that goes into the input for the Elgato. Then the output goes from the end part to the computer. So I unplug everything starting from the actual power outage or the startup for the Elgato. And then I put it back in that same order. So you hear that? That's the port for me to turn it on. I plug in the side with all the cables, and then I plug in the output to the computer. So it's still off. So I have to click into the Elgato screen, which this comes up as pure black, nothing's going on. Deactivate it, basically telling it to turn off, then reactivating it. Then it should be on, and now you can see that there's quote-unquote no signal. That basically means that even though it's no signal, it's at least on. So that's a huge indicator for me to at least start from there. Then I could turn my stuff on. Now, all of this is kind of a little mess. I do need to clean it up, to be fair. I'm going to try and clear up as much test space as I can. But I have my PS2 here, which is connected to the HDMI splitter that has the outputs that I bought. I showed you guys the box, but it's an AV cable output to the HDMI, which goes to a switch box, which is all the way back there because I don't want to touch it. PS3 is sitting right on top or below it. Below that on my desk, that's what's on the desk. Below that is my PS4 and my Xbox 360. 360 will be, of course, for Lost Odyssey whenever I get there. PS4, obviously, for whatever's there. And below that is my router. So just in case I need to reset the router, I just need to press the button and I'm good to go. That's all connected to the switch box, which is connected to a splitter, but not the splitter to the one that goes straight to the HDMI output for the or input for the Elgato. I need to have a separate switch box for actually, is that how it works? No, I'm sorry. It's everything is connected to the switch box, then it goes to the splitter, then it goes to the Elgato. I thought for some reason I had a second splitter going through, but no, I don't. And the other part that goes into the to the splitter part is the other monitor, so that way it can actually turn on. It's a kind of a mess, but there's a method to the madness because mainly the reason why I use a specific splitter is because of the PS3 not being able to output HDMI to like an Elgato. So that's just the problem that the PS3 has forever. That's why I have to have this set up. It's a mess, but it works. So as long as it works and I can keep it to a minimum, I'm good to go. So I'm playing Bayo, and I should have the Switch already off, so I'm turning it on now. Hopefully, I just need to switch this on. So I'm switching over to hopefully what is Bayo on my Switch box, because there's 4 things going into this. So that's the PS2. The first one I think is the PS4, and this one should be the Switch, I believe. Yep, there it is. Perfect. All right. So once I make sure that that's actually on, I have my controller, and obviously you just play it like normal. I would not be seeing what you guys see here. That is over here on this screen, so I don't have to, deal with this, because I know that this is working once I see that on. This will be the game right now. So just hitting a button, making sure that it comes up. I check my Elgato button. I see that it kind of peaks. You can't exactly see that. I'm actually going to switch to the computer screen now. As I'm switching buttons or whatever, I'm pressing things, you can see that the Elgato is actually coming up. So that, again, helps me with the testing just to make sure that audio is coming through. Switch that back. And for now, Bayo 2 should be hopefully able to start because I think it's the physical copy I have. Not delete software. How do you actually close this thing? Okay, there you go. All right, so this is the first time I'm actually booting up Bayonetta. It does actually need to update. So this would be a good time for when I need to do an update. Depending on what console, whatever I'm doing, I would try and see if there's like an update before I start like the stream starting soon screen. Usually like for stuff on the Switch would be ideal for me to check beforehand because some of them are actually pretty long. PC ones, not really. I don't really have to worry about that because these are kind of lightning fast, so I do them as I go. And yeah, so I think right now it's just kind of rebooting. Oh, kind of strange how I'm getting a phone call. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Just to shy away from that. Sorry. A little bit of silence there. Um, don't exactly remember what I was. Oh yeah, I was doing the update. Um, so I think because this Switch is on a auto sleep, I gotta restart it. Um, keep forgetting to change that setting, so may as well now, since I'm waiting around anyway. Um, fuck. So what the fuck was I talking about? I, fuck it. It escapes me. I'm just gonna go as to like the its analysis of what happens when I do updates for this. For some reason, it doesn't seem like it actually wants to work. Maybe there's something actually wrong. I felt that something just happened here. Hold on. I felt the controller actually turn on. So I'm gonna actually turn off the screen for a second. You got nothing will come up on your guys' end. Um, maybe I have to switch. No. Why is this happening? Hold on. Okay, so I see the screen on my end, but I don't see it coming up here. So maybe it's the Elgato that fucked up again. Let's try that. All right, so it's got no device. This is really a pain in the ass, but I don't know. Maybe it's just defective or something. Like maybe it just fucked up and maybe it needs an update. I don't know. I've been dealing with this for like at least a couple months now. I would assume like maybe the beginning of the year. Okay, there it is. Okay. So the screen didn't go away. The Elgato decided to take a shit. So we did the update. Let's go into Bayo, and this again would just be the time for me to just make sure that the actual game runs, especially if it's digital. Right here, if it was digital, it would be telling me, oh, you downloaded this game, but it can't actually upload or anything, or whatever the note is basically saying that I can't go progress from that point. So I would have to like delete the game, re-download it, and that would be a huge fucking pain in the ass just for Switch shit. I don't understand why that happens. But whatever. So Bayonetta starts. I got a save slot. This is just, if I was to go into an options at the start, I wouldn't have to do with this. That's fine. Usually, like I see like there's a lot of modes, but I'm not going to really read them. I'm just going to go straight into options. Then I would just go through and just check it. Touch controls. Now let's turn that off. Touch controls, because I'm playing on a controller. Let's see, camera speed, camera distance. I don't need to change all that unless I need to. Voice language. I think this is new. Oh, we have Japanese? Sick. I could actually deal with that. Well, not yet, because I don't think I'm leaving the options. Oh, well. Had to change that back. And display. We have brightness, display. Subtitles are we definitely want these on. Not necessarily because I need them or anything, but just for you guys' sake, just to read everything. I'm going to apply that. Okay. So now I'm basically good to go with the game. Then I'll just kind of close up the game and start it up again whenever I'm ready. So close it. At least that's just like my first real test to make sure that the game runs. This should be, before the stream starts. And then when I start the game up, or when I start the stream up, then I would go to the main menu, just double check, and then close it up again. Then that's when it usually, then I switch it over to, my stream starting soon screen to whenever I'm ready. Maybe I'll just grab a water or something. But that's pretty much it. There's not really much else that goes along with the actual stream setup. It is a little bit of prenup and all that at the start. So that can get a little hairy. I guess just kind of depends as to what the game I'm playing on and what platform. But that's usually how it works. That's the gist of it. So that's part of the discussion out the way. Again, sorry about that small little break there. I dropped just to let you guys know, I dropped my phone on the corner. You can't exactly see the problem, but yeah, on the top left it has a small crack there and it scratches to the side. I called I have a OnePlus, so I called the service team to see if I can get it serviced. And long story short, I got insurance for it to replace the screen. I'm like, perfect. Okay, well, it's not activated when I bought it, but it's still I can still activate it before the expiration date. Perfect. Activate it. That took 2 days. Great. So now I can put it in my claim. Great. I detail exactly what's wrong. Screen broke. Great. still cover warranty. Details me the deductible, all that stuff. Great, answer those. After the questionnaire, they said they can't service it. Why? Oh, because you said that you actually have a scratch on the back of the screen. Oh, well, yeah, but it's a very light scratch. Like, it's not even noticeable. It's just a small little indent, like from wear and tear. Like maybe my keys were in my pocket. Oh, because there's a scratch there, we can't service it. It has nothing to do with the actual front of the screen at all. It's the back of the phone, but it was kind of like, for me, it's like a weasel your way out of like a certain situation because you don't feel like wanting to do it. So that's what I just had to deal with over the phone. Them trying to reference me to another service. And you know what? I can deal with this phone for a little bit longer. I'm sure that I can afford to get another OnePlus phone in case I need to if it gets worse. Or just get the screen replaced somewhere else. Fuck it. I don't care. I still had to pay a deductible anyway and wait for the shipping. So, whatever. I'm fucking stupid. Anyway, mini rant over. Only other thing that I wanted to talk about, this is the other thing that was to talk about. We had the PlayStation event just happen. Obviously, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Really, really fucking cool. I was just watching the trailer a little bit ago. There was a slight thing that I noticed from someone sharing it on Twitter, and I'm going to see if I can find it during this trailer here. I'm going to try and lower the volume because we don't necessarily need that. You guys can see the trailer for yourselves for sure. It's basically just showing you small little itty bitty new cutscenes like that one. There's something else at the beginning too. But obviously the special edition adds Virgil. It also adds Legendary Dark Knight mode, which is in Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. They just added a shit ton more enemies on screen. They also added Turbo mode, and they also have different resolution modes. 4K at 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second at 1080, and 120 frames per second at most. So we don't know the frame rate about that one, but that's still really fucking cool that you can have all that. So here's a little bit of the Legendary Dark Knight, all these fucking enemies at once. Still trying to find a specific thing here. Let me see if I can find it. Was that in this trailer or was that in another trailer? Maybe it was in another part of the trailer. Yeah, because we have this. Looking for something. Trying to find out where exactly like that image I saw was. If anything, I'll have to show you guys the Twitter page, or at least the link. Because then we have running there. We have him here. This here. That there. Dante there. Okay, yeah. So I'm not exactly sure where that was found. So let me see if I can find that. If I can find that Twitter handle or the tweet or whatever. It's gonna be a little bit. You're gonna see a lot of just random shit. So don't worry about that. It was only like retweeted like maybe a few. It was like right when the trailer was done, like maybe 5 minutes later. So let me see if I can find that somewhere really quick. There's a lot of Demon Souls, which looks fucking fantastic. It looks so smooth. Let's see. A lot of people are talking about these games, so that's why it's kind of like bombastic with all this shit, you know. Damn, where are you? It wasn't that long ago. Was it fucking shit everywhere? God damn it. Okay. If I can't find it, I guess I'll just tell you. Yeah, come on. It's somewhere. Okay. Well, it's somewhere. I'll see if I can retweet it and find another while I'm off. Yeah, I don't think so. Fuck. Okay. Either way, there was a bit to where in the original Devil May Cry 5 launch, Nero and V actually have the same mission that intertwine at the end, that they both meet up at a co-op section at the end. But they're actually not with each other at all during that entire section up until that point. So it seems like that they actually are foreshadowing, full-on multiplayer for some of these missions. Only because you get to see like a still image or a screenshot or whatever, right before they get to that intertwining moment, and it's like right before the cutscene that they actually meet. So they actually are together during that mission on a screenshot. So it's alluding to that it could possibly well be that multiplayer is also added into it. So that was what I was trying to find, just at least to see the specific one. By the way, it looks like that the song is actually new in the trailer as well. It's Virgil's battle theme. I know Matt Walker had just retweeted it and told it about it. So let me see if I can find that tweet. But right there at the top is the retweeted Matt Walker stuff. Bury the Light is somewhat of a reflection of Devil Trigger. Just like Nero is a reflection of Virgil, Nero chose to embrace the darkness within and accept his demon side. Virgil has always tried to bury his humanity, as it is a great source of personal pain and memory of weakness. So I believe the song is called Bury the Light. Yeah, that's what it is here, Bury the Light. So it's like him rejecting his humanity side the entire time. Let me see. Yeah. Song is written in trailer called Bury the Light by composer Casey and sung by Victor Borba. I'm not sure who that is, but he says that it's going to be on Google Music, Spotify, and iTunes on Monday. So I will for sure be listening to the Fuego. Shout out to Matt Walker. He is the producer at Capcom, and he is a fucking treasure. Love this guy. Also, here are the boxes for the PlayStation 5. I'm not really sure what the difference is. I guess I would go with the black, just because I'm kind of tired of seeing so much white on the console. Of course, God of War was shown, or at least teased that it's being made. Of course, Demon Souls remake. Also, the Harry Potter RPG, which I heard from many years ago, like maybe 2019, maybe 2018, that it was being worked on, and we finally have some footage of that. Just really CG stuff. Of course, Miles Morales Spider-Man will also have a definitive edition of Spider-Man PS4 bundled with it if you didn't get a chance to play it. So that's nice. Okay, so apparently Sony says Demon Souls is not coming to DLC. Closing slide was a mistake. So looks like Demon Souls is console exclusive to PlayStation. Okay, not on PC either. So that's confirmed. Let's see. Also, seems like the PC version of FF16 isn't really 100% confirmed. So that's really strange. That it was rendered through a PC for the trailer for 16, and says that it's going to be rendered for PS5 when it launches. So that's a really weird concept. But that looked pretty good. I don't really have much to say about that because I liked 15, but not enough to really say it was a great game or anything. The character's really what was solidifying me to have a great experience. We also have Godzilla on Street Fighter 5 apparently. It's just an Abigail skin, but that still looks kind of fuego. Just seeing a lot of Devil May Cry shit, obviously. Judgment Nut. Oh, man. The memes are now OD. I love you, Big Blow. Oh, man. They actually changed the English for Persona 5, I guess. There's a mod to make Persona 5 unbearable. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, look at that drawing. Nice. Here's a what if Goku died on Namek. Oh, if Goku died and then Kid Gohan went Super Saiyan. Wow, this is art. Holy shit, that's nice. That's really nice. Holy fuck. Some GameStops went live 25 minutes ago. Guess you could try GameStop retails for PS5 now. Okay, so I'll be trying to get my pre-order in on Target because I have my Target card, which takes off 5%, and I don't know if it actually ships or anything, but I'm gonna try and do it at a store. We'll see how that works. Me after making fun of Xbox for making Halo cross-gen, only for Sony to do the same thing. Making Halo. Well, what did they do? They didn't do almost anything. It was a lot of mistakes actually. So, all right. Well, that's pretty much it. Fucking Call of Duty was there. There was some other small things too. But some of those things I wasn't really particularly interested in, like the Mad World shit. Obviously Call of Duty. Resident Evil 8 was shown, but I didn't really care for it at the end because it was only like a minute trailer, which didn't really show off any real gameplay or anything like that. So a little upset that they didn't actually have anything for that. Obviously Devil May Cry. Hogwarts was there, yeah, obviously. 16 and yeah, some other small things, but yeah, I feel like they kind of just did a pretty good job. At least they saved a lot of stuff, for this, and I'm pretty okay with that. So, oh yeah, also it would help that I should switch it over to the computer screen. That's a fuck up on my end. I was not paying attention to this at all. Fucking oops. Oh yeah, also for prices of the 5. So 500 US and digital is actually $400 to where the Xbox One S is $300. So technically you're getting a better deal if you're going all digital depending on what you're looking for with the S. I believe that just the disc slot is removed for the digital, so you're not downgrading on anything. But the Xbox One S, you are downgrading on specs and stuff like that. And of course, you don't have the disc drive. So that's the trade-off. Do you want the digital edition of PS5 and have better stuff, or do you want to save some money and then just get like the lower resolution? I believe that's like the biggest change from those two. And of course, for this one, no change, just this drive. Yeah, I think that's really it. There was nothing else really there to talk about. Yeah, that was really it. Hopefully that this will of course. I love that the box art or the still image is just Virgil on special edition looking up at his own tower, pretty much. From what it looks like of Devil May Cry 5 special edition, it's pretty much, from my guesses to the trailer, no Lady or Trish. Doesn't seem like they're gonna be playable. If they are, they're gonna keep that secret until later on. But I highly doubt it. It will also have new cutscenes, as I've seen, but it's going to be like Devil May Cry 4 to where they'll probably just have like a few of them like at the beginning and the end of the game. But you'll play Virgil throughout all the missions of Devil May Cry 5, which is great because the only characters that you can play as in the campaigns are the main characters in their own respective missions. This is the first time that they can actually have one character for everything, unless you somehow modded the PC version and just did it yourself. So this means that V can fight all bosses except for like, Urizen fights and, whatever. But now Virgil can fight every single boss in the game. And that's one of the only characters that can do that at all. You could do that as V in the Bloody Palace. But still, like, you have to like do an extra mode just to fight all the bosses. In this one, you could just do that with everybody. Fucking awesome. I don't see like really it being such a huge deal to just have a Yamato moveset, because obviously there would probably be no Beowulf or Force Edge because they didn't have that asset to this game, which makes sense obviously for canon and all that if you really want to go that deep. But it would have been nice to at least have some sort of fisticuffs weapon. Maybe they're gonna have something special here. I don't know. We'll have to see. But either way, a lot of his moves are returning. The doppelganger in the fight. Seems like he has a new move to where like he stabs himself. He does this like the harakiri, but then he turns into V, like a supercharged version of V, and then just goes fucking ham. So I'm assuming that's like someone had guessed on Twitter somewhere that it's gonna be a Sin Devil Trigger moment, to where Dante has that Sin Devil Trigger and it goes that shit, and Virgil just has his regular DT with doppelganger, and he does that other mode to where he goes into V. That'll be like a Sin DT gauge. I'm sure that that's another thing too. I don't even know if Virgil will have a concentration meter like in 4. That would be great if he does, because you could, of course, like how you did in 4, you could play like him in this. So that's kind of what I want. We'll have to see. The game will launch digitally for PS5 right as soon as the PS5 is in your hands, day one, but we will have a Virgil DLC or a special edition DLC for people who had already bought the original Devil May Cry 5 on any console or PC for an additional fee of that DLC. Or you can have a physical copy, but that's at a later date as well. So either get it on PS5 at the launch or whatever console you have, or just get the DLC version, buy that at a later time, or get the physical. So I'm most likely gonna get the digital right when it starts, because there's no way in hell I'm skipping this on day one. I am playing the fuck out of it again. The other question too is that because I'm going from PS4 to PS5, I don't know if all my shit will transfer over as far as like save data. If it doesn't, then I just had to play Devil May Cry 4 all over again. No big deal. I don't particularly care because I love this game. Just has to, that's gotta suck for people who's like, I just already bought all the moves. I gotta do all that shit again. Me, I could play this game forever and ever. Gives you a really good reason to just, just fuck around with it again. So, hey, we got another reason for that, for sure. Which I, of course, will be streaming it because there will be new cutscenes and I gotta get my ass in there. So, that was really it. That was really the biggest things I wanted to talk about before we started Bayo. Still have another, at least as far as the recording goes, I have another 20 minutes before I really start. So I'm just gonna get some water, maybe just chill out for a bit before we start. But yeah, so we'll be starting in a few, and over my session at least over. I will be uploading these through YouTube, and I'll have a little playlist for these, just as little one-offs. Just if I gotta let some things loose, I'll just have a playlist for that. Or if I want to just go in details about a specific schedule change or whatever these sessions are. Also, you're more than welcome to anybody who's watching to just come into my Discord while I'm having these sessions, just to talk shit, whatever. We could just literally talk about whatever, see some videos. It doesn't matter to me. This is just literally open mic. Doesn't matter what the topic is, unless I have something predetermined in mind. But hopefully this pans out well, and hopefully you guys are kind of interested in it. That would be nice to have some conversations to go on in the future. But not a bad first take. I appreciate you guys if you guys watch. Of course, the time has come, and so have I, for more Devil May Cry 5. But at least for now, we can at least be situated with Bayonetta 2, which will be happening in a little bit. So for you guys who are watching at home, it'll most likely already be up. But either way, hopefully you at least found this somewhat interesting. We'll have more of these in the future, but I'll let you guys know as to when I'll have another one for sure. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. See you on the stream side. See you guys later.